more we normalize these kinds of connections, the more frequent they'll be present for us, and the easier life can be because we're not alone in it.
Yeah, we're not. I know. It's amazing. It's really magical. It really does make you feel less alone. It really does. It's one of those things, like the more you open yourself to these things, it helps you through the grieving process. It's not a fear.
Big show today, guys. Happy to be with you.
Gabrielle Bernstein, a role model for a new generation of spiritual seekers.
In your book, you talked a lot about different synchronicities and moments, and anything you want, a story specifically that you want to share, just to drive home that message.
Yeah, well, I was working with this beautiful healer in Hawaii, someone I had never met, but she was a cousin of one of my clients here that I was personally training. And she would tell me things all the time. She would call me or text me and tell me things 2 weeks before the hospital and the doctors would catch them. And but one of the one times that she really blew me away, she called me up and she was like, Amanda, I'm so sorry. She was like, um she was like, this is going to sound weird and I hope I'm not offending you. She was like, but I'm getting the sense when I'm healing Nick that he does not have your faith. He doesn't share the faith that you have. And I was like, why are you saying that? And she was like, well, I feel him kind of arguing with God right now. Like they're having a really deep conversation and I'm witnessing it and I'm not being a part of it. But he basically doesn't, I can tell he does not believe what you believe in God. And I was like, yeah, I was like, you're very much right. And I said, I'm not surprised that Nick is having a conversation with God right now. I could feel that when I was, visiting him. And I love that that's happening. And she said, yeah, she said, Amanda, right now, he's basically deciding whether or not, like, he thinks he can heal himself by himself. And he doesn't need he doesn't need help. And I was like, that's very Nick. And I'm not surprised to hear you say that. And she was like, it's really out of my hands, Amanda. She was like, but I felt bad in asking you this question because I didn't mean to like say anything that might hurt your feelings or go against what you thought Nick believed. She was like, but wow. She's like, yeah, I really sensed that. And that was like, again, that was something no one would have known. Do you know what I mean? That was never something that Nick and I shared aloud. I wasn't sharing that on Instagram because, that wasn't my business to share. I was sharing my faith and what I needed and what I was saying and believing and praying. But for her to just come out to me and say, like, I'm healing him and from healing him from Hawaii, this is what I'm feeling and seeing. I was like, oh my God, like, wow, this is, amazing.
Beautiful. I
Yeah.
I really appreciate those stories because we, we sometimes think our will can be the way, but we have to accept, particularly when it comes to loss, is that soul signed a contract, and this is just my beliefs, not not going to push it on anybody.
Yeah.
The soul signed a contract to come in a specific form in a specific way to do specific things, and when they're done, they do make that choice as well. And so, it's a peaceful way of looking at things because it's not like something was taken. It's like, this was a transition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, the thing is like Nick loved talking to people. He loved like getting in a good conversation and listening and learning and going back and forth. And there were so many days I was at the hospital and he hadn't woken up yet, or I would be FaceTiming with him and he hadn't woken up yet. He was still in, his coma. And I could just tell, I was like, you're loving this. You're learning something right now. And I can't wait to hear what that is. And I was so excited for when he would like wake up and really be able to be like, oh my God. And I just felt like he was just able to do it. And unfortunately he could never speak and never, fully, even communicate. But I was waiting for that moment. Oh God, I wish I could have had it because I just feel like he did. He had some conversations and I just wanted to know what they were. But
Journal with him. So
yeah.
like at night when you do have that space, you just write at the top of the journal, thank you, Nick, for revealing to me whatever you want me to know.
Okay.
And write whatever's on your mind. And then you might even feel like your pen starts to move and your handwriting could start to change. And you'll know when he's dictating through you. And there's
Okay.
strong sense that he's going to write through you and give you messages that are for you, for your family, but maybe even messages for others. I don't know exactly, but there's a communication that's got to come through.
You know what's so crazy? I never thought of this until you just said that, but gosh, I feel like that happened a lot with writing the book because
100%.
I am not a writer. I write how I speak, which is not how you write, grammatically correct. And Anna was amazing at all of that. But there were nights that I was just like sobbing and writing, and it was just like pouring out of me. And that I never thought of it, but it literally did feel like somebody took over and was literally just typing for me.
Yes.
And you're right. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That you become the channel for that message to come through. Well, you're in co-creation with it. It's you and him, but
Right.
he wrote the book with you without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can feel it even on the cover. You feel the presence of him.
Yeah.
But I think that there's like even a nightly ritual that you could have of just like dialoguing with him in that journaling form, because it's a really easy path for them to come through.
I'm going to do that. I love that idea.
I'm hearing also like the more still you are, the more you'll hear. So like in those moments after a workout, or like when you've been dancing and you have like privacy and you've moved a lot out, because you're a high energy woman. So when you've moved a lot out and you can be still, don't jump to the next thing. Like stay, if you're in a studio or wherever you are, just sit and listen and just breathe few minutes. I hope you're enjoying this show. And if you want to get more Gabby, you can click the link below, subscribe to my Dear Gabby podcast on Apple, be the first to know when the episodes drop because they come out 1 week before the video. And you can download it to your phone, listen to it while you're driving, while you're cooking, while you're working out. You can just get more Gabby wherever you are. And if you feel called, leave a review. I'd love to hear from you. Now let's get back to this episode.
Yeah. Thank you for that reminder, because what's crazy is that Nick used to always tell me, especially after we got married, balance. It was one of his like words that now I recognize when I read through things that he wrote to me. He always wrote balance, balance. I hope you find balance. I hope you can achieve balance in your life. And I've been doing a lot of sound baths and like deep yoga nidra meditations lately, which have been really, really helpful for me to exactly do what you just said. Because I am a crazy lady, type A, I'll do 10 things in 1 hour. And I've been really trying to take it down and find those times to just be and be still. And you are so right. It is when I feel his presence a lot and when I'm calm and yeah.
Yep. It's when you still that you can receive.
Yeah.
What, yeah, I think that there's just a lot of development that's in front of you with this relationship. It's really cool. I can't wait to hear more stories as they come out. And you may even see like, if you ever see like sparks of light, like if you see like almost it looks like a tinsel, it's that spirit, right? Or like the lights flashing, or there's so many ways that they'll communicate and connect, and signs, and keep asking for it. And I think that your faith and that openness is just the perfect the perfect combination for a spiritual relationship. Like it's just beautiful.
It's crazy. Oh my God. Do you want to know the weirdest thing? So I posted this picture. I did this shoot with Equinox because Equinox has taken my jump rope class and they put it in their gym. So they did this awesome photo shoot with me. I posted this picture. I got a DM a couple of weeks ago from this woman who said to me, "Did you notice on this picture, there's an orb on your leg?" And she said, "Zoom into the orb. It's Nick's face inside the orb." And I was like, huh? And I zoomed in, and I swear I even sent it to Nick's family so that I was like, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
Yep.
It is Nick's face.
Yep.
With his beard and his long hair, the way I loved him the best.
Yep. Yep.
Lives, we're always like, I really like your long hair.
Yeah.
And so then I went back to like my original picture that Equinox sent me just to like make sure that she didn't like superimpose this. And it is like, it literally is an orb on my leg. and it's Nick's face. And this was the first photo shoot. Like, this was such a big, like, this deal that I did with Equinox. I did it pre-COVID, and then COVID happened, obviously, and it went away. And then it came back. And this photo shoot was like the first day of this all like surmounting again. And oh my God, there he is with me the whole time on my leg. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Well, it's funny for someone like me. I would say it's crazy when we don't notice it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're right, I guess.
I think that the more we normalize these things, the more, and many cultures normalize these things way more than America. The more we normalize these kinds of connections, the more frequent they'll be present for us, and the easier life can be because we're not alone in it.
Yeah, we're not. I know. It's amazing. It's really magical. It really does make you feel less alone. It really does. It's one of those things, like, the more you open yourself to these things, it helps you through the grieving process. It's not a fear. It's like, oh my God, yeah, he's on my leg.
He's on my leg.
On my leg.
Yes, he's working through my son. He is on my leg. He is he's channeling through the book. He is everywhere. If you like this video and you want to get more Gabby, check out the next one right over here.